everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Gringo Show. Glad to have you back with us. A lot of news happening this week, so let's get right to it. The first fascinating thing that happened to me this week is seeing this. Do you know what that is? That's an eggplant before it ripens. Hence why they call it eggplant. But also last weekend was another explosion of culture, art, music, and sports in the nation's capital. It was a holiday weekend, so while the president reminded us of the revolution, others were celebrating at this year's Corona Capital, where bands such as Arctic Monkeys, Lil Nas X, or who we call here in Mexico, Nasito, the Yeah Yeah Yeahs, or what we call the CCCs, and Miley Cyrus graced the stage to perform for screaming Chilangos. And on Monday, the San Francisco 49ers and the Arizona Cardinals came to town in a resumption of the NFL game in Mexico after a 2-year hiatus due to some type of lung disease or something. I don't remember what it was, right? The festivities started over the weekend where the 49ers took over Pinche Gringo Barbecue for a fan festival that brought in over 11,000 people for celebrations that included ex-players, cheerleaders, and Sourdough Sam, their famous mascot. Which is pretty ironic because every Chilango knows that you can't get good sourdough in the city. It doesn't exist. I don't know why. Lila, business idea. Can't imagine how many times this thing has been attacked by birds. Yeah, guys, like because it's bred, the picking. God, we need a new show, a new audience. The 49ers beat the Cardinals 38-10 at Estadio Azteca to a sellout crowd in which tickets were going for more than $3,000. And they didn't even give you cueritos or tacos de canasta for that price. Should include something like that. In years past, there were problems with a laser pointer, the field, but this year, everything went off without a hitch. Players were asked how it was, and they were like, "We high." 7,000 feet above sea level. Oh man, give these guys coffee, huh? Yeah. The only thing that happened was on Monday, the Cardinals fired their assistant coach, Bob Kugler, on Sunday night right before the game, which is a peculiar move. And I was thinking, what could have happened? Probably a typical American who was like, "Oh shit, I'm in Mexico, no rules." I was hoping that he was found tied up nude at the Angel or something. Or maybe they found the name Dulce or Perla tattooed to his tramp stamp on his back. But it was disclosed that he groped a woman, so it was a good thing that he was terminated quickly. Then came the World Cup. Both Mexico and the U.S. tied their first games in the qualifier, blaming their teams for the lackluster results, and both were supposed to win these games. And of course, all of Mexico, including Juan Pachutla, recommended to fire the coach right away. Fuera! Fuera! The Twitter universe was on fire with posts of Mexican fans and their wonderful spirit for their selección. One of those fans even smuggled in a bottle of alcohol into Qatar. And to put the icing on the cake, then he bragged about it on social media. Dude, what are you doing? The penalty for smuggling alcohol is 30 lashes, 30 latigazos. Latigazos. Maybe you were thinking you could just pay off the poli with a few Diego Riveras or spend a night in Torrito. But this ain't San Angel, it's San Doja. But fans were everywhere in the city with their tricolores. Check out this clip, and warning, this video can invoke severe convulsions. In related news, Qatari authorities are looking to give 30 lashes to the person selling washing machines in the streets of Doha. Who was that? Who was that? Authorities riding on horses, don't worry, let the Mexican fans lighten the mood. Then some fans ran into Chancellor and potential 2024 presidential candidate Marcelo Ebrard. And you would think they'd ask him about Qatar's human rights violations or how the relationship is going with the United States. Instead, they asked for beer.
Si quieres ser presidente, saca las chelas, Marcelo. Saca las
They even told him they'd vote for him if he'd give them one. And trust me, he needs all the votes he can muster. Seems like Abrad's chances for 2024 are dwindling in another segment of Who Will Win AMLO's Heart. I spoke to the Tías. And the Tías told me that there's a dark horse candidate that many are expecting will possibly be the next president of Mexico. And no, it's not Chabelo, he's too old. And it's not F1 racer Sergio Perez, so you know you want it, you can race the country to prosperity. No, it's Secretario de Gobernación Adán Augusto López. He's the former governor of AMLO's home state of Tabasco, also was a member of the PRI until he joined the current president in the PRD and now with Morena. He's a loyal disciple. So if we're betting on this, you may want to put your money on Al because he's going to be succeeding AMLO. CPAC, the U.S. Political Action Committee, where you find people that have weird obsessions over their presidents. Sound familiar? Decided to come to the glamorous city of Santa Fe in Mexico City last week to talk about, I don't know, how they want to send Mexicans back to Mexico while they're in Mexico. I'm wondering if they were here to find housing or something. I have no idea what these guys were doing here. The speakers at the two-day affair were Eduardo Bolsonaro, the son of the soon-to-be former president of Brazil, and Javier Milei, who is aspiring to be the president of Argentina. Cancun tourist Ted Cruz addressed the crowd, as well as Esteban Banan, classy American dude with an ugly jacket. To be honest, it was perfect setting because Santa Fe used to be a garbage dump. It did. That does it for this edition of The Gringo Show. Thanks for staying with us. If you've enjoyed the show, please make sure you like us on Facebook or YouTube. We read the papers, watch the news, and scroll through social media to share with you what's happening right here in Mexico so you don't have to. Have a great week.
Gringo, Mexico is laughing thanks to you.